give it a couple seconds to hook. It seems like whatever adjustments you made to the bit rate last time worked. So, that's good.
Okay.
Make sure that I have the right microphone. Yes, I do. I have you on Discord as well. Alright, ready to go?
Let's do it.
Alright. We're flying another Saipan Shoreline show today. It'll be straight out of the chocks, left on the ramp, left on the taxiway, back taxi 06, right onto the taxiway at the end, and then we'll line up and wait 2-5 for a no-flap blower go, take a no-flap blower go maneuver right turnout. We're gonna only go 8 miles this time to try and save a little bit of gas.
Okay.
Come back at the show for the head-on. It'll be smoke on the hit it. And then I'll be in front, smoke off at the cross, and then it is, for my reminder, a right 270 roll, so the canopies are facing the crowd. And then roll level and push out for lining up for the knife edge. Then it is the show as briefed, right turnout out of the Delta breakout for the Delta flat pass for a gentle right turn for a left pitch to brake on runway 25. Stagger will be left. And I'm going to do something new on the taxi tonight.
Okay.
We're going to do a solo taxi on to 06, and then we're going to covered wagon on 06 back to Charlie, where we'll go well clear and do individual right 45s into shocks.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good.
I think that's just gonna look better.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts before we do goals for the show?
I don't think so. Can't think of any.
All right. Goals for the show. My goal for the show is to be mentally present for it. It's that simple, but I think it's going to be hard right now.
Got it. All right. My goal for the show is basically catch your rollouts, not climb over your wing. I was doing that a bunch in the last show.
Sounds good. All right. Anything else before we get going?
Negative. I need to clean off my headset again.
Okay. Well, I'll switch my inputs and we're ready to break.
Okay. Ready to go.
Alright. BrotherLeb, you got me?
Yep, I'm clear.
Alright. Stream's got me, Stream's got you. Stream's got us both on visual as well. OBS is going away. Discord's going away. Let me recenter myself and then we'll get going. So that way I'm feeling better about it than I did last time. That'll do, donkey. Alright, let me know when you're ready to unpause.
Go ahead.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Don't touch that. Oh, all right. Advise when ready for startup.
Ready to start.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Leb.
3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, right engine crank.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, right engine forward. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine crank. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine forward.
Leb.
Roll left, roll left.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby,
Flight
FCS.
Flight controls.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
In test.
Oh, man. I forgot to put thin HUD back on. So I flew GR's Sunday Fun Day.
Oh, nice. How's that?
Oh, fun. Long.
What did you guys do?
Traits FCS's go. We did a new carrier v carrier thing with the carrier captain also being the GCI.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I was not the GCI, but because I,
It's more fun to fly. Not
bruh, I
GCI.
don't volunteer for that anymore. But I don't have thin HUD, which is going to make this fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Chariot's IFA is holding DTC.
Same.
Chariot's DTC complete.
I'm a DTC complete.
Chariot's F-Tree, come on.
Oh, tree, come on.
Discord check.
Good check.
Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 2905. Check your altimeter set 2992 for an uncorrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel warning 0. Check your FCS 12. 30, 30, 30 down 2. Check your fuel seat arm lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke. Good morning. Chariot updated winds are calm. Out of the east, 110 for 4 knots.
Not calm.
Check your altimeter set 2992 for an uncorrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check, correction, Chariot squawk 1205, level squawk 1206. You're cleared to taxi left out of chocks and then left onto 06 for back taxi to Echo and then line up and wait 25.
Thanks, Leb. Cleared to taxi is 0. Back taxi 06. Line up and wait 25.
Lab.
Souls were cleared to taxi. Check park brakes off. Chairs adding up to 75. Off brakes now. Come and left, easy power to 60 and land and roll. Coming back left. Stay in trail.
Left.
Trade's adding power to 72. Let it roll. Come and left, go right wing. Slow switching in, come on. Trade 78, come on.
Elizabeth, come on.
Take off jacks.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your land light is off. Check your lights are off. Check your flaps are half. Check your waypoints correct in the box swing. Waypoint 2 at 2.3 miles and climbing. Check your altimeter set to a radar and set to 2992. Check your seat is armed. Check your heading 068.
Left.
Cheers. Easing power to 70. Let it roll. Oh, yeah, we're fine. The longest taxi ever. BrotherLeb go well clear.
Left.
Ease power to 68. Little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Off brakes now. Coming right. Call turn lab.
Left. Coming left. Oh.
Little brakes, easy brakes, a little more brakes, brakes. Solos, we're clear for takeoff. Updated winds are 110 for 4. That's a left tailwind. Check your park markers off. Maneuver our section no flap lower go maneuver.
Left.
Right turn out. Check your park markers off. Let's roll up. brakes now. Blowers ready now. Took her off the ball. A little pull. Little drive. Stand by, roll it. Rolling out. Rolling out. Gear and flaps. Easing power. 280.
Contact.
290, a little drive. Ease in the drive to level 310, easing more power.
You got 2 Chariot.
Chariot easing more power. 330. Coming right. Coming further right. Comes the pull. Easing the pull and rolling out. Sees it out.
Flip.
Arrival checks.
Flip.
Check your lane lights on. Check waypoints in the box showing waypoint 2, 5.7 miles and climbing. Check your altimeter set to barometric and set to 2992. Check your passengers bypass your seat is armed and your heading is to 901.
Flip.
Easing power. Coming back right. Coming further right. Comes the pull.
Take it in.
Delta's up the 90 for that on.
Flip.
Ease in the pull. And rolling out. The head on. Easing a little power. Go let abreast.
Flip.
A little pull to level. Smoke on. Adding a little power. Ease in that power. Smoke off. Solos attach. Solos are clear. Five fast. Center point, 8 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ready, hit it! Smoke on. 380 mark.
A little fast.
A little slow.
Numbers.
Numbers.
Contact.
Gotta go looking for someone left.
Flip.
Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chairs clear, and clearing in from behind the crowd, rather, for the opposing knife edge. 1.8 mark.
Leb 1.7.
Messed up the smoke there.
Same.
Well, at least we were matched.
Alright, let's get after it. $3.5. 4 miles.
Let me know when you're beam.
I mean,
Let me know when you're taking back.
take it.
Stand by, mark it. I'm gonna be late.
4 miles. Mark 4.
Chariot's in for the right nav edge.
What's it right now? 3 miles. Mark 408. Little angle. Two miles. Mark 400.
On time. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact smoke off. Ready, hit it.
Roll right, roll right.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chairs clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted rolls. 1.8 mark.
Match.
Keep the speeds light on the outbounds.
Yes, sir. $3.5.
I can work with that.
4 miles. Mark.
Lemon or near beam.
The beam.
Lemon or take a mark.
Ticket.
Stand by, mark it.
$4 miles. Mark 10.
Charts in for the left and weird.
What's the left? 3 miles. Mark 402.
On time.
$2 miles. Mark 400.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on.
Roll right, roll right.
Contact looking good. A little drive. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chairs clear, and clear behind the crowd for the Fortis. Come left, hooks coming down.
Contact.
330. 320. 310. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Souls around the crowd setting up the Fortis. 2 miles, chicken lights on.
You'll have to
Straight, a little drive, easing power to level. Easing power coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. A little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Power set. Coming further left, a little more pull. South of 90, get off on hook apart up.
Lab.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Fortis outboard. Adding lots of power. 3 miles. Adding a little more power. Chariot's rolling in.
Clear.
Inboard and on level. Center point. Chariot's pushing out. Rolling out.
Clear.
Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Chariot's clear and clearing in behind the crowd for the MRT state 85.
Left state 84.
Chariot circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Nice. 4 miles, mark 340. Three miles, mark 350. Two miles, mark 345. 1.5 miles MRT. 1 mile, mark 351. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Good entry.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Ease in the pull. Comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out 1100. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Coming easy, left easing power 330. $350. Souls behind the crowd, setting up the opposing MRT 365.
You'll have to.
Chariot rolling out. And we're coming right. Comes the pull. Looking for 290.
Left.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. The opposing MRT to right. A little pull to level. Little drive. Smoke on left lead.
Pull up. Power set.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Match.
Numbers.
Left. Connect.
Wanna go for Saipan lab?
Left.
Merge. Nice. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. 1, 2, 3, and roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot's clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls 2.5 mark.
Match.
Nice work.
Gotta give me a little room with the altitude there. 3.5. 4 miles.
Let me know near beam.
Outboard. A beam.
Let me know near take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles. Mark 400.
Chariot's in for the left orbital rolls.
Doesn't left orbital.
And the car clears.
Left. 3 miles. Mark 390. Two miles. Mark 400. Little lane.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Connect. A little pull. Ready. Hit it.
Roll right, roll right.
Burners. Pull. Stand by. Roll. Burners. Pull. Ease in the pull and roll it out. 7-4.
7-9.
Chariot's coming right and circling behind the crowd for the sneak to vertical state 6-8, easing power.
Let's say 7-0. I eased a little too much on that pole, so that's the altitude.
Chariot. Slow outbound. Chariot circling 5 miles, 52 verticals. And Chariot's turning 5 miles, 52 verticals. Four miles, mark point 68.
0.3 behind.
3 miles, mark point 80.
On time.
2 miles, mark point 85.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, mark point 89, full burn.
Smoke on.
Chariot 95.
Ready. Hit it. Stand by. Roll. Let's clear 10,000. Clouds effect.
Chariot high show clears.
Hi, Joe.
That looks so cool. Chariot circling 4 miles, whistle loop.
Up. Clear 11.
Chariot. Chariot's turning in 4 miles, solo loop. Chariot's wings level, smoke on. Up. We go a little more pull, adding power. Adding more power. Vertical 5-8, easing power. Easing more power. A little ease. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease the pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Go Diamond Stinger. Smoke off. Chariot detach. Chariot's attached, boss. Welcome back. Lemonade near beam.
Beam.
Lemonade taking break.
Go take it.
Stand by, market.
4 miles. Mark 250.
Chariot's in for the right 4 point.
Was it right? 4 point. Three miles. Mark 4.
Nice.
Two miles. Mark 402. Little angle.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact swirl. Ready, hit it! 1, 2,
All right, all right.
3, 4.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch. 2 miles, mark.
Match.
Nice.
4 miles.
11 near beam.
A beam.
11 ready to go.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles. Mark 4.
Chariot's in for the left inverted.
Other than left vert.
Correction, left vertical pitch.
Left vertical bed. 3 miles. Mark 4.
50 feet.
Left. 2 miles. Mark 4. 2 little high.
On time. Smoke on.
Pull up, pull up.
Contact. Add it up. Ready, hit it. Shoot. 2 right. 60. 60. Stand by, roll, and pull. Power, it's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 80.
Match. Contact.
Contact, I'm a little low. 1.5, Mark 380.
Match.
1 mile, Mark 41.
Match.
A little pull, ready, hit it.
Go left,
Quick.
go left.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chase clear, and clear behind the crowd for the inverted tug of roll.
Let's come and left.
Contact.
350. Ease in the pole. Rolling out. 355.
You'll have to, Leb.
Left. $350. So behind the cart, setting up the inverted tug of roll.
Chariot.
Coming easy left. Coming further left. Adding power comes the pull. A little more pull. So is the 90 for the inverted roll.
Chariot.
A little more left. A little more pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out the inverted roll.
Chariot.
Up we go. Ease and a little power. Ready. Hit it. One line.
Smoke on.
A little fast. a little. Drive ready. Clear.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Left, inside.
Contact.
Easing the pull. Rolling out. 370, easing lots of power. 375. Coming left. Easing more power. 380. Easing the pull. Rolling out. 380. Easing more power.
You got 2 up.
Left. Souls behind the crowd. Send up the section high off a little pull.
Chariot.
Adding a little power. Coming left, easing power. Coming further left, coming, easing more power. Comes the pull. Stand by the board. A little more pull. A little further left. And more pull. Souls of the 90 for the section high alpha.
Sure.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. The section high alpha. A little low.
Sure.
Stand by the boards for 200. Little pull. Still low. Gotta miss that ship. 190. Easing power. 180. Easing a little more power. 2 miles. 170. Little pull. 160. 150. A little more pull. 145. 140. Pull into the set. Adding a little power. We're flying it. Oh. A little more power.
Center plant. Knock it off.
Flip. Pulling at 60. Coming left.
Chariot's brake and left 270. $280. $290. Smoke's on.
Contact.
Smoke off. 300. Easing some pull. Easing a little power. 310. Coming further left. A little pull. 320. And rolling out. Ease in the pull. We're behind the crowd, setting up the section breakout 330.
You got to.
Chariot. Gonna drop down into it. Easing power. And we're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. A little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The section breakout 3 miles, easing the pull to level. Easing power 10 fast go line abreast. Smoke on 1.5. 1 mile mark, 8 fast. Half mile mark, ready, hit it. Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull.
Connect.
Ease the pull, and roll, and out, easing lots of power. 360.
Connect.
Easing more power. 355. Tells behind the crowd, setting up the Delta roll, Chariot 4-0.
4-4, you got 6 months.
Boss. We're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. A little more pull. Okay. Delta at the 90 for the Delta roll.
Left.
Adding a little power. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Delta roll. Smoke on. Up we go, adding power. A little more pull. Okay. Rolling out comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease in the pull. Coming back left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Delta's in left-hand turn for the flirtly.
Left.
Smoke off. Adding power. Ease in the pull. Coming further left. Ease in the pull. And rolling out the flirtly. Up we go, a little more pull. Smoke on. Ready break.
Ready roll.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. And pull. Contact.
Ease the pull and rolling out.
Chariot's coming right across your nose at 440 mark.
Contact.
Adding power 430. 440 coming further right. Easing some power 450 comes the pull. A little more pull. Easing power.
You got to.
Smoke on. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Set. Okay. Set. Soak off. Go get him.
Clear.
Seriously.
Clear 355 at 2500, 330,
Got it.
340, 350. Coming right. Coming further right. Easel power comes the pull. 370. Delta's in a right-hand turn for the loop brake cross boss 200.
Chariot 350. Yeah, I got 6 miles.
Boss, a little further right. Comes the pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. The loop brake cross on that board.
Chariot.
Easing power.
Turn.
A little pull through, pulling through, adding power.
Stick it in.
Smart. Adding a little more.
I thought we were pulling
power.
through.
We're 2 outward.
You lied to me.
And up we go a little more pull. Set. Vertical 5-8. A little ease comes the pull. Hurry break, sir. One left. Stop. 0.5 mark. Forward. 1 mile mark. 400. 0.5 mark. 400. 2 miles mark. 400. 2.5 mark. Smoke on. 3 miles mark. Up we go. 4G mark. Vertical 4-8. 8 alpha. Horizon now 7.5 powers up. 40, 50, 55, 60, 65. Roll it steep. Leveling that 3 miles mark. 2.5 mark. 2 miles mark forward. 1.5 mark 390. 1 mile mark forward. 0.5 mark 404. Smoke. Pop. Boss click.
Sure, sir.
Easing power, coming left, 380. 370.
Connect.
365. 355. 350, little power to catch. Ease on the pole. And rolling out. Easing some power. Rolling out. Little pole. Coming left. Coming further left, adding a little power, comes the pole. A little further left. Delta's in a left-hand turn for the Delta breakout. Right turn out.
Chariot, overshoot.
A little further left. Easing power. Comes the pole. Easing the pole. Rolling out. We're low. Easing the roll. A little forward. 3 left.
Check smoke.
So, lineup is trash. Adding a little power. Ready, right? Set. Smoke off. Clear.
Chariot clear 115 at 272 1300.
Connect.
280. 290. Coming right. 300, easing power. Little pull. 305. 310. Coming further right. 315. Delta's in a right-hand turn for the Delta flat pass. 325, easing power. $330.
Labs.
Boss. Coming further right. Easing lots of power. Smoke on. Easing the pull and rolling out. Easing the pull to level. We're in for the flat pass. Center point. Smoke off. Tease it out. Adding power. Tease it out.
Left.
Landing checks.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure on, check your land lights on, check your altimeter set to radar, and your waypoints in the box showing waypoint 1 at 4.5 miles and climbing.
Left.
We're coming back right. pull. Ease and a little pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. Ease in the pull to level. We're at the 90 for the left pitch break land.
Left.
Coming back right. Coming further right. Comes the pull.
Let's clear.
A little more pull. Easing power, a little more pull.
Fuel low.
Smoke on. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The left pitch up, brake to land. Easing power, 20 fast. Center point, boss, break in.
Left's right.
Chariots, ease of the pull and rolling out 080.
Let's roll out.
Smoke off. Gear and flaps are in tight. Chariots coming left. 260 leb. 2 4 leb. Chariots gear down. 3 green. Hook up.
Let's gear down, flaps down, hook up order.
200. Chariots at the 90. Winds are 110 at 4. Staggers left. 180 leb.
Left.
160 leb. One fear all the way leb. Overshoot.
Left, 200. 180. 160. 140 all the way.
Jessica.
Club's okay. Okay.
Chariot, landing checks.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure off. Check your... Wow. Check your smoke pressure off, check your tabs, check your flaps auto, reset your trim, and see if your seat.
Left.
And also check your land lights off.
Left.
Standby taxi instructions.
Left.
We'll take a right on hotel, back taxi 06, well clear on Charlie for individual right 45s into chocks. Final angle 290.
Left, 290.
Check your park brakes off. Chariot's powering up to 73%. Off brakes now. Chariots coming right, keep 2 on the wing.
Let's roll.
Chariots ease, power to 68, and letting it roll. Chariots adding power to 70, coming right. Chariots ease, power to 68. No split, it's a narrow one runway.
Leb.
Nice flight, Leb.
Nice flight.
I was about to go ready split, and I was like, where are we gonna go?
I mean, we can go like, what, 3 inches to the right?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Okay, so riddle me this. This taxiway right here is Foxtrot. Then we go Bravo Charlie. How does that work?
Reasons. Jesus, he's the reason for the season.
I didn't like that phrase. It rubbed me the wrong way theologically. If he's the reason for the season, then what about the other seasons?
You're right.
Theology on a Blue Angels train. That's exactly what you wanted, isn't it?
I was gonna embellish, but then that.
Oh, little breaks. Easy breaks. A little more breaks. Off breaks now. Come and let go well clear.
But
Coming further left. A little break 6. A little more breaks 4. A little more breaks 2. Off breaks now. Coming right. 290. Little breaks. Easy breaks. Little breaks. Breaks. Stand by canopy and engines.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. That's a show.
Leb.
Cheers coming out from under the hood.
Cool.
BrotherLeb, you got me?
Yep, let me try.
Hey, and the stream has you too. What joys.
Hi, guys. Hello, everyone.
You're a little quiet.
That's because my mic is not touching my bottom lip. Which apparently, even then, is usually not enough to sometimes get signal, but that's okay. All right.
Let's see. Getting my replay settings setting. And then launching the sim again. And then we bring up the maneuvers manual. It has 3 H's in front of it. And tack view. 'cause that's always fun. Rackety rocktar. Okay. There's your camera. Are we ready to debrief?
Let's do it.
Well, DCS just has other ideas. Yeah, God, with the guy. Hang on 1 second here. Find the maneuver. There it is.
Derp, derp, derp.
Derp, 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 derp. All right. We're debriefing. That
Do
was
this
a
thing.
show at Saipan Shore. As far as goals for the show, my goal was to be mentally present for the show, and I accomplished it. And I feel good about that because it has been a crazy week, everybody. I'm not going to tell you why, because things, but it doesn't have to do with content. It has to do with real life. And so it was really hard to be present here. But I was here. I was present. It felt good.
Nice. My goal for the show was not to climb over your wing, and I failed. We'll talk about when during the rest of the debrief.
All right. Right. As far as the taxi is concerned, no issues there. And for the no flap blower go, that was also fine, except for my comms. I need to actually go back and listen to their comms when they do that so that I can get it right. So that's a me thing. I'll go do that research and come back a better pilot. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, taxi was pretty good. I think I called the turn a little early on the runway again. I was hard. I tried to wait longer, but it to no avail. Let me see. Yeah, the no flap bar go was pretty good. I remember to keep the power in, so I was closer to you, which is helpful. I don't think I rolled out quite on the same timing as you did, so I don't think it will look as pretty as the last one, but not a bad maneuver all told. No further notes.
Cool. Head on. 8 Mile approach worked out just fine. We were smack dab over center point, and the split was good at 8 seconds. I think we crossed for like 2 or 3 left of center point. Neither of us smoked off, I don't believe, so that's a note I'll take for next time. Roll was fine, push out was fine.
Yeah, no big notes there. Pretty decent maneuver. I like the 8 Mile thing. It just keeps everything moving. Yeah. And then I also forgot to smoke off. I think I smoked off when I pulled to 40.
All right.
No further notes?
Cool. Actually, I think it's going to look pretty good then, if flap blower go. Alright, moving on to the knife edge. We hung out too long on the knife edge this time around, so I ended up being nose low on the clear. That's my bad, and I'll fix it for next time. Clears are fine.
Yeah, I was a little rough on inbounds this time, just lineup and speeds. Just across the show, and this is the start of them, so I need to improve that for next time. But I'll also come back a better pilot. And then I rolled out of the knife edge as soon as I saw your jet go past because we'd been on it for a bit. But that meant that we didn't probably do that in a coordinated fashion. So, yeah, I'll just be better about knowing the timing of when we normally roll out of those. So, yeah, clear is good.
Alright, inverted to inverted. This one was all fine on my end. No notes.
Actually, I take it back about the clear on the on the knife edge. Inverted was yeah, pretty solid. I was able to get on profile like really early, so that felt good. I was high on the hit though. I was pretty high. I just misjudged your pull or your push rather.
I'm pushing to 2.5, FYI.
Yeah, I'm doing it all based on you, and I just misread it.
Okay.
My bad. I should fly it visually. If I'm looking at the numbers, then I'm gonna be off.
Yep. Alright. The Fortis. Yeah, this one was I felt like this one was actually pretty fine. All things considered. Definitely rolled inboard of the crowd, but with the wind pushing us back out, we actually went more or less over the boat. I was on altitude and aware that being on altitude right over the boat would have you scraped off on the bottom of it, so I was keeping eyes on that, and if needed, I was going to add some push to clear it. But it seemed like we were fine, so I stuck with it. My roll back to level was a little bit further left, so that probably screwed you up a bit. But then the rest of the clears were fine.
Yeah. Turn background was fine. Rejoin was basically similar to what I've been doing. There was a lot of pull coming to the lineup, it felt like, so I was kind of, I had my hands full on the rollout and I got a little low. Your roll-in was pretty good, and I was in a better spot this time, so I was able to get right up next to you pretty quickly. I think if we are on the altitude, I think we are. I'm going to look a little low again, maybe, but depends on if we're going for the mirror image or the overlap. Yeah, your rollout did throw me a little bit, so then I ended up overmaking, getting a little wide from you. I just didn't adapt to the different attitude super well. So yeah, I think those clears are starting to look better, and I know what the side picture is, and I was just sort of struggling a little bit with that one tonight. No further notes.
Alright, so next up is the MRT. This is the best one I've done at this show site. Everything was on parameters, the jet felt like it pulled right, the pushover was fine. I don't think I'm going to be hanging on the tail too long. And the pull behind the crowd was good.
Yep, I thought it was going to be late. Timing was perfect, at least as far as being line abreast right when you leveled out. I was doing a lot of work in to try and stay in the right spot in the turn, but I was able to see you the whole time, so that was good. Yeah, and then rolled out, and then because we were like exactly line abreast, the rejoin was harder than, and so I was a little late getting in for the rejoin behind crap, but no further notes.
Alright, opposing MRT. Yeah, there's a lot going on the rollout for this one, so I'll take a note for that. There's just a bunch of adjustments needing to be made. I was very cognizant of the fact that we were still pulling to level. So I can do better on that to get us rolled out level instead of pulling it to level, even though we're dropping down over that hill. There's no need for that. Smoked off at the right time. I think I called the hit late again. So that's... I honestly think just doing my normal timing would have been fine, but, you know, it is what it is. You seem to make it work, which was really cool to see. I was a little bit low on the hit, so I actually brought the nose up just a smidge right before we crossed, so hopefully that means our vertical spacing is fine to the crowd. But if it isn't, that's on me for being too low with the boat there. Roll, I remember to put the push in, and clears were fine.
Yeah, I had a little bit of latency in the connection right when you called coming right. So I didn't see any intermediate positions between your straight and level and you're on the 90. So that was exciting. And then as a result of that, I just chose, or I made a decision I was going to fly more well clear for the rest of the show, just in case it did it again, which it didn't. And I didn't entirely keep that promise either. But anyway, that's for later in the show. Rollout, I was a little sucked, so I ended up rolling out too close to you, or at least just in a spot that was a little uncomfortable, but I was able to work it out. Yeah, hit felt good. I was pretty much on the numbers quickly. And then, yeah, I was able to make the timing work okay. We were just really stinking low. Like, I'm less concerned about the picture from the crowd and more concerned about, like, safety at that point, because in order to make the hit work, I was like, I'm going to dip my Sidewinder rail if I get much lower than this. It turns out that I wasn't, well, I don't know, it's about 150 feet, which just feels real low. But I guess we are out over the water, so maybe we can get away with it. It's just I was uncomfortable. I'm not used to flying that low. And trying to fly off of you instead of looking at where the water is and stuff like that. Yeah, clear was a little messy because I was rattled. No further notes.
All right, opposing horizontal rolls. I was not aligned with you on the calls coming into the box, but I think I got more or less on by the time I got to the box. Rolls were fine. Pole was fine. Over the top as well. You explained why we had the altitude difference, so no further notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying not to jockey the throttle too much. So that meant my inbounds were kind of probably at a slightly different cadence than they normally are. So our 2 right hit, I'll take responsibility for at least a hefty chunk of that. Yeah, altitude difference was just I eased the pull a lot when you said ease in the pull instead of easing just kind of right at the end there. So I think that's probably the major altitude difference. Trying to check TAC view and see if there's a speed differential.
And there usually is something, but
Nah, like right at the hit. I'm 406 or 404 on mine, so.
nice.
Going up a hill. 328. 315, yeah, it's negligible. I think it's just the pull.
Okay. All right, sneak pass. Tried not to. Usually I do mill all the way out, and then through the turn, I tried not to do mill all the way out and build up speed a little bit more. Just like keep it high, keep some fuel efficiency, and then roll it in. But that meant I was 0.7 slow on the first inbound call, which turned out to work out just fine because you were 3 behind. So we were set up by 3 miles. I was able to get low enough, hopefully early enough this time, so it actually looks decent. It doesn't look like I'm dipping down as we come towards center point. Clear was fine, rolls were fine.
Yep. I was a little late on that first hit, and that was just kind of in my head that I was late. So even though we were on time the rest of the way in, I forgot that you're crossing inboard of center point in between the ship and the shore. So my hit's just a skosh early. And then my clear strat's still working. I'm more or less clearing behind crowd every time, but not on a great angle. So this one was basically behind crowd right, but clear nonetheless. No further notes.
Cool. I was hope. This one was fine. It was a little bit more oblong than it has been in the past, and that's just because I brought in, I didn't bring in enough. No, I brought in too much pull after my ease at the start, so needs to be a little bit less pull then, and then a little bit more pull on, a little more pull. But that did mean that we had a nice long trail out before we went Diamond Stinger, so that was nice. Not quite as aggressive of an arresting of the pull for the Diamond Stinger moment. Yeah. Opposing 4 points. This one actually felt pretty good. We were on for the inbounds. I was working on a little bit of an angle, got it fixed, and yeah, the rolls felt good, hit felt good, clear was probably a little shallow, to be honest. But aside from that, it was good.
Yeah, I was also working an angle and speed stuff, but was able to get it fixed within about 2 miles. And then yeah, the actual maneuver inside the box felt really, really good. We were the timing, at least from what I could see about when you timed it, was so good that I was able to basically keep a steady cadence with all the different roll elements. It was just roll, 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 roll,
Yeah.
which felt pretty cool.
That's the goal.
The clear was good. No further notes.
Sweet. Vertical pitch. This one felt good on the inbounds. We ended up hitting about 2 right. So up over the top, I was a little bit slow. I was a little bit low compared to you. I didn't make any adjustments because I was curious to see what would happen at the 1.5. It turned out weird that we were more or less on. We ended up hitting 2.5, 3 right on the actual hit. On the on the return hit, roll was fine. Clear behind crowd was safe and fine.
Yeah, no real notes for this. Yeah, we similar altitudes. The side picture I had was right, you were right on the horizon on the way back down, which felt good, and the roll was good. Timing was pretty good. I was a little bit, I think you just pull more in that inbound than I tend to do, and so, but I had more speed, so that worked out fine. And yeah, clear was good.
All right.
I will say one thing actually now about the clear that I'm thinking about it. Pull behind crowd, and I didn't give any drive at all to arrest the natural climb when you roll out that fast. And so I started at 5 degrees nose high and then pulled to like 15.
I noticed
So I
that.
was very high on that clear. It's not a safety or a danger thing, but it's just like that's not the way I want to do it. Anyway.
Inverted tuck over roll. Rejoining for this, I almost hit you, which sucked. But you know, I didn't, so it's all fine. That's a safety I'll fix for next time. I just didn't anticipate the lack of pull for as long as we did because of how low we were to the mountain. But that's something that as an aviator I should be aviating first. So that's something I'll fix for next time. Coming around the corner was fine. How fast we were going caught me a little bit off guard, so I ended up a little bit behind you, but then ended up working out just fine because once we got inverted and I got settled, I was in a pretty good spot. But I don't think I actually got line abreast of you by the time we did our roll. So I don't know whether I was behind or whether we rolled early, so I don't think it's going to look right from the crowd in that particular instance. But pull to 10 was fine, and the segmented rolls and roll behind crowd was fine as well.
Yeah. I don't have any big notes for this. A little fast coming to the box. The rollout was a little quick. And we were a little fast starting out, but we just kind of let speed down. And I made the decision to just not adjust my throttle at all, so you could do what you had to do, instead of like changing anything, even if I was going to call it. So we started at like 408 knots, and we probably hit at around 380, which is target. So that worked out. Yeah, I think a little early on the timing for the hit, and then the attack view looks like you're basically line abreast once we get to the 45, which feels good. I don't know if the timing is good, but we'll see. And then clears felt pretty good.
All right, section high alpha. Rejoin was fine. I kept it a little bit wider this time around through the turn, and through the maneuver because of how weird it's been feeling in the jet line abreast of you. Got a little bit close at about the 0.25 mark, and then made an adjustment, and that just pushed me out from you. Like, we just separated a lot. So I don't think it's going to look particularly good this time around, but I did stay in a decent position as far as, like, you know, on the X and Y axes, just the Z axis is going to be a little bit far away. And then the clear was fine.
Yep. This turn is just, I think I'm putting more mental load on myself by doing it so low, and having to think about terrain. Lineup was pretty good though. Speeds were all right. Had plenty of time to get the maneuver set up, but we were a little low. And so I was thinking about that, and I was like, there's a ship that we're going to maybe run into. So I was nervous about it. And so I climbed to get to the point where we we're going to pull the set. Then once we pulled the set, there's always a little bit of climb. It's hard to not do that without doing a whole lot of throttle jockey stuff. But then we had a little bit of climb throughout the entire maneuver. So probably started about 550, ended about 650. So not ideal. I'd like to be 500 or lower. This obviously wanted to be higher than 200 feet, so we'd clear that ship, but I think that was too much climb. So this is probably one of the worst high alphas I've flown in a while as far as like profile goes. The lineup was pretty good.
Yeah.
But the profile was just ugly. Clear was fine. I did want to talk. Well, we can talk about that in a minute. So keep going.
Alright, rejoin for the burn 270. Had to climb over the mountain, as usual, so just kept the climb coming, and we just rolled right down and came right down into the box with the head of steam. We ended up being about 20 fast and a fairly quick rollout. Put us about 0.25 behind the boat, which has been the norm. But gave us enough time to get us line abreast and set up. We were still probably doing about 385 when we did the hit, so still about 5 fast. And I think I might have pulled late. So we'll probably look line abreast in the replay, but I'm guessing that I was under your wing more or less through the turn in the back, and the rollout was fine.
Yeah. So the clear after the high alpha, I normally keep power in so I can catch you around the corner. But for whatever reason, I was hauling the mail and I had a huge overspeed, which I thought I could bleed with pull and brakes, and I just couldn't. So a big overshoot on that, which you didn't catch because you were given radio calls and I was using the other radio channel. So that one got clobbered, but you need to be given instructions, so that's good. But yeah, big old overshoot there. Was able to collect it and get in. Felt like we were just slow to start behind the crowd. I feel like we're normally trying to get around 350. This feels like normally where you're going, and we were slow, but
You're right.
I don't know. So that threw me off, and that kind of happened throughout this show. I felt like maybe you were trying not to like add too much power in like transitional maneuvers, so that way we were burning gas. I don't know, maybe not. But there were a couple of times where I was just like, this is slower than I'm used to, and so rejoins and stuff just got all cattywampus, which I should be able to like catch. Like after that first one, I was like, all right, the power thing, and I should have thought of that. But I just kept flying what I'm used to and getting myself into trouble. So more on that later. Turn was good. Rollout was great. Felt real good. And then about a mile out from the ship, the darn thing just climbed on me and I couldn't really fix it. So I was pretty grumpy about that. I'm not sure why. I must have adjusted my hand position or something, because you would look like you were perfectly flat, but my jet just was like, we're going to go up now. And so I was probably a whole jet high
Oof.
compared to you instead of line abreast, which is not where I want to be. But I was able to get mentally set for the hit, and then the pull was really good. And from where I was standing, it looked like we were like bang on.
Sweet.
So
Okay.
hopefully that looks good. Clear was good, and rejoin after that was good.
Noted. Yeah, my philosophy with the behind the crowd stuff was that we had we'd done a trade of altitude for airspeed, and so I was gonna pay back the airspeed when we came back into the box, and that happened pretty much every time.
Uh-huh. Which makes a ton of sense. I just didn't know it was happening.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing that like I would appreciate a briefing on it if you know you're going to do that. And then if you don't know, regardless, that's something that I, as aviator and like follow pilot, should be able to catch on to, because I could tell, like it occurred to me that's what you were doing. I just didn't make the adjustments. So that's on me.
All right. Delta roll. So we've been super fast coming into this maneuver both of the times that we've been here. And that has been happening when we have been 240 or faster rolling out for this maneuver. So I decided in the turn to let it drop to 335. And so we rolled out at 335. And it just never went. I added power. It's never climbed. And we went up the hill. And I added more power. It just didn't go up. And so we ended up starting the roll at about 320. And so that meant the roll was faster. And that meant that we bottomed out with a little bit more pull than normal. So we ended up 5 degrees nose high for the clear, which screwed up the whole turn for the fleur-de-lis. So I'm just going to live with being fast, because I prefer what has happened when we're faster than what happened this time, and so, woe is me for trying to fix it. I'll do better next time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was super in for the turn and the climb and the onset, and I actually was able to stay in for most of the. I was doing it, and I didn't realize this at the time, but looking at the tack view, I was doing it with bank angle instead of rudder, which explains what happens at the end of this. So I was good for the first 75% of it, the first 270, and we get to the knife edge heading back down the hill, and then I put in opposite boot, and I just scooted right underneath you, and this felt like there was nothing I could do to arrest it. And so I need to do more with bank angle to make sure that I'm in. I need to try to match your bank angle and do what I can with the rudder, because like at the inverted, I probably got a 15 to 20 degree difference in your bank angle mine to yours, which not only looks bad for the crowd, but it's dangerous because then when we roll out like that, when I think I'm rolling out at the same time as you are, I'm not, and I'm banking into you, which is what was happening. And so I scooted right under there and destroyed 4. He's dead now. So that's a big safety that I'll fix for next time. I definitely need to go back to the drawing board on some of that stuff. I'm learning things about the maneuver, but I'm not consistently applying them yet. So I have not learned my lesson yet. I'm learning them, but not completely. Yeah.
All right, Fleur de Lis. All things considered, with how wonky the turn was behind the crowd, this ended up being relatively okay. We were about 5 pointed back towards the crowd, but that was fine considering the fact that we were about half mile outboard of the boat. Up the hill was fine, smoke on was fine, the pull rate was fine, and hopefully, I believe I got my push and my roll lined up with yours, but when we came behind the crowd, I was like super low compared to you. So pulled across more or less in like below your nose at 440, and I thought about leaving it out, but then I was like, no, we're gonna need speed for this turn, so I brought speed in. But then I paid back the altitude for extra speed, and so we were going like 465 to the turn with lots of pull, so we ended up being outboard of the boat and crossing center point before we ever pulled up, which is why I started adding pull when we were still a little bit in the roll there. And I know I've done that at other show sites, and so it's a fairly normal practice, but I haven't been doing that here. But we ended up online, and we ended up going to each of the sets just fine. The second set was a little bit of a quick roll, but that's because of the altitude we were dropping, because I wanted to hang us out behind crowd a little bit longer so that we actually gave you the angles that you needed to set up for the loop break cross. But that meant that the second set just came quickly. And yeah, the break was fine, the pull-up was fine, that was clear.
Yeah, okay, so, really big old safety on the exit of that, where this is the first time I failed. I climbed above your wing and had to go well clear, smoke off and everything, and finally was able to get settled back in the turn. So that's safety that I'll fix for next time. Glad to be here. Coming around the rest of the turn was more or less able to get it in position. Rollout was all right, able to more or less get there line abreast. I don't think I gave enough drive in the clearing roll thing. The roll came a little quick because I gave enough angle, but looking at the tack view, I wasn't, like, our nose angles are different, so that's where the altitude difference came from. It was nice to have you in front of me for that turn. That was great, but I was timid on the power, so it just took a long time to get in and around the corner. So I felt like I was just a little sucked as we were coming in for that, a little further behind than I'd like to be. We'll see what it looks like, but I think I'm like about a half a jet to a jet behind where I want to be for that. I was able to catch all those sets in the actual roll turn thing, so that was great. I think the clear, maybe it'll be interesting to see how close the clear is to coordinated. I super tried to anticipate it, so I rolled before I heard or saw you give the cue where you normally go, and basically matched what I could see, but it doesn't match for reals because of the delay. So I don't know what that will actually look like, but I'm very interested to see. All right, loop across. So you gave me a really good angle there, and so took my time getting around the corner, but I still ended up being a little bit outboard of the ship. But instead of trying to correct it or pointing toward the ship, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because we go up, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because then we can come back on it instead of pointing at crowd. But anyway, didn't occur to me at the time. So we also had a little bit of altitude. I'd sort of use that to trade in for airspeed coming around the corner and rolling out. We were low. I keep doing that at this show site. And so we climbed to get back up to an altitude for the pole, but it was a bit low. I think about 650, 700, and target is 1,000. So that is something that safety that I'll fix for next time. But yeah, we were also outboard, and then the up we go was just a hair late, and the pole was we got there, but it was a little slow. And then there must have been a roll in my pole over the top, which is away from where my hand is. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, we ended up hitting pretty close to center point, a little bit left, but not as far outboard as we started. So there's definitely something in that in that pull. So that's another safety that I'll fix for next time, because that's something that can be dangerous in a looping maneuver like that. But yeah, overall it was good, and then I was all over the place on it for speeds and timings. So they just came up fast. I didn't intend to lie, but I unintentionally lied about my first outbound speed, and then I got it down to the speeds that I was actually saying. But I was probably 20 knots faster than I said. I was probably 420 on that first call, and then I was able to get it back to 400 after that. But it just meant that those calls came faster than it's probably reasonable. Yeah, and then over the loop was fine. Rollout was a little steep as per my radio calls, and the inbounds were pretty good. And then you made that hit gorgeous, so I think that was good.
Cool. All right. So for the loop break cross, rejoin was fine. Was able to rejoin midway through the turn, which was great. As we were rolling out, you added a little bit more pull, and then you said something about something through, and I interpreted it as pulling through, which I shouldn't have because that's not a phrase that we ever use. But we didn't, and I got mad about it.
That's funny. I actually did say pulling through because we did pull through the horizon a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
We didn't go pull the level. Yep.
Because then you arrested the pull, and I was mad because you didn't say that you were. I expected that we were still going to keep going, and you evened it out, and I climbed a little bit and got mad. But then reset and got a little low going up the hill, and then climbed just a smidge over where I wanted to be when the ease happened, and then we had the over-the-top hoogies that usually happen that I was able to arrest pretty stinking well this time. So by the time we did the hit, I was more or less in position, and I noticed that you were actually easing pull as you set up for the break. So I was able to adjust for that and brake effectively. And then because we were... I actually don't know why, but I was just cooking down the hill. And I was way fast going outbound. And then I was apparently fast over the top because my altitudes were way off of yours. And I was early on every single one of those hits over the top. So I ended up rolling out a good 1/8 of a mile ahead of you, so I was full neutral all the way in to center point, and but I was looking at you over on my right, looking at the distances and doing the math, and I was like, I think this is going to be right on, and it turns out it was. But that meant I was slow behind the crowd, and we'll get to that when we do talk about the Delta Breakout.
All right, so Delta Breakout rolls good. We broke the park. Excuse me, broke the box because I didn't turn soon enough. I need to just come to the heading quicker. I was trying to do this like nice gentle turn, and I just need to come to the heading. So broke the box. That's something that I will fix for next time. I think that's technically a safety because of airspace regulations and who the heck might be out there. Turn was pretty measured, and then I just didn't roll out. I just didn't anticipate my rollout point fast enough. I didn't want to increase the rollout rate and throw you out or run into you or anything. So I just sort of lived with a bad lineup. So angles-wise, we were on the right heading, but we weren't pointed at the ship anymore, unfortunately. So that will not look centered from the crowd. Roll to the set was pretty good. Pull was pretty consistent. No further notes.
Rejoin.
One was further safety also was that we were way too low. We leveled out a little too low before we started going back up. We got below a 150, which is a safety that I will fix for next time.
All right. Rejoining took forever because I was like doing 330 when we hit center point for the loop break cross. So punched it into burners and just didn't do a full pull behind the crowd so I could build up some airspeed. But that meant that I was probably a good half mile behind where I usually am. And because your turn was slow, that meant I was even further out than I usually am. So it just took me forever to get back in. And because I was back there forever, I was feeling the crunch of trying to get in. I didn't take... I have until you roll out in front of a crowd to get in, and I was, for some reason, putting myself in the sense that I wanted to be in by the time we were at the 90. And that's not necessary. I need to be in by the time we roll out and smoke on for that. So that's a safety because it led to me overshooting, even with cross controls and everything. But I was able to get back in formation and was in for the rollout. You can absolutely do whatever you need to do with that rollout if you want to. I'm not like in close formation with you at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, I was able to. I was a little bit sheepish, so I didn't get down to where you were because you said that we were super low. But then I finally got down and flew pretty well line abreast of you until the hit didn't quite get to my angles correctly in time. So hopefully it still looks good. I was probably about a half second late and 0.2 less of 2G. So we'll see what that looks like, but that's a safety for next time that I'll fix.
Next
98
feet. That's as low as we got.
Jeez. Okay, I'm glad that I was high then. Okay, Diamond and Flat Pass. Turn behind the crowd was fine. Had to make a couple of adjustments to get us online, and we rolled out we finished the rollout at 1 mile, which is it's too close. I'd rather take a wider initial turn and then pull into it and give us more time to set up. So that's something that I will fix for the next time we do a remote show. And we'll talk about coming back to the field in a bit.
Yeah, the turn, I think you just were slower getting up to speed, like you didn't add the power and get to 350 at the spot you had been before, so all of the angles and math that I had done to make the rejoin work really sexily in the last 2 shows was completely off, and I screwed up. So I could see pretty early on that the sight picture just wasn't building the way that I needed it to, and I didn't make adjustments to fix it. I should have turned into you and then just gotten in the right spot and flipped the bearing line, but I wanted to do a sexy rejoin, and so I just held what I had and tried to see if it would fix itself, and it did not, which sometimes it does, but this was not one of those times because I had an overspeed. So what I ended up doing is trying to get low, give myself some altitude separation, and then pull really hard into you and just slide up the bearing line during the pull, and just misjudged how much I needed to do that. So then I had to go clear and safe behind you, and it just took more time to get in. So safety there, because it was dangerous and I could have run into you or other planes in the formation. So that is something I will definitely fix for next time. Glad to be here. Once I got in, I was more or less fine. A little bobbly over center point, so not as pancake flat as the last time, but yeah, probably a C on that, and then we'll talk about the rest of it after that.
Yeah, after the smoke off, I called while clear, didn't see a move, so I called it again, didn't see a move, and I was like, all right, whatever. And by all right, whatever, it's not like I was mad. I was just like, all right, I guess he feels like he's clear, which is his prerogative as a pilot. I will let him fly his jet, and started adjusting the stuff in the cockpit, got it all set up, and got into that right bank. We ended up being a little high for the turn back for the pitch up brake to land. So that's why the turn didn't have the pull as early as usual, because we had to drop the nose a little bit. But we got lined up fairly well and rolled out and pull onto line for the left pitch brake to land. 080 is too tight, should be 35 outbound, and I did 20. So that meant that I had to bleed a lot of speed in the turn back to the field, which doesn't align with our parameters, so that's a safety, and I'll fix it for next time. Felt like the taxi was fine, the parking was fine.
Yep. So I heard all your well clear calls, and I felt like I was clear, like well clearer than I had been during the maneuver. I was inner for the maneuver than that, so I wasn't quite sure. I didn't catch that you didn't think I was out yet, but I felt fine about it, and I was able to do my landing checks in that position, which now that I'm thinking about it is kind of wild, but it was fine. And I don't fiddle with the waypoint. Like I don't need it. So you're like, make sure your waypoint's at the box. I'm like, you got it, boss. Not touching that MFT at all. But yeah, there are other things in the cockpit that I do check, like landing light and radar out and things like that. So there's other fun things to do. But yeah, I was able to do pretty well. I was following you in the turn just fine. I was just like, yeah, just stay comfortable here. Big ol' safety though. So you got to the 90. I was like, I know he's gonna have to come right again, and I was all ready for it and fine. And then we rolled to the like whatever angle that I thought you were gonna maybe start pulling at. I don't know. Like in my head, none of this. I'm sort of adding extra analysis that I've done since then. But I think because you just mentioned that you didn't add any pull, and I was expecting the pull, what it felt like was that you were just flying down into me. And I climbed over your wing. So this is failure number 2 or 3. I don't remember. I have lost count, but this is another one of them. And then your jet just like kept coming into me. So I had to hard pull away from you and go well clear. And that was just very dangerous and very spooky, and I will fix that safety, and I'm glad to be here. But I just didn't, I did not fly your jet. I flew, I don't know, some assumption of what I thought your jet was going to do. But that's just something that I need to fly what I'm looking at and not what I think is going to happen, what I think you should be doing, even sometimes what you say you're doing. I need to just fly what I'm seeing. And I did not do that. So that's a big old safety. It's very dangerous. I'm honestly surprised we didn't crash. And I'm glad that we're still here. But yeah, the rest of it was pretty good. I was able to get tucked in and smoke on. You smoked on earlier than I did because I wasn't quite in yet, but I was able to get smoke on over the crowd, get tucked in pretty good, and then landing was pretty solid. I wasn't watching my speeds again. I don't know why I keep having that problem, and then I had a ton of pull to get online, but it was safe, and the timing I think was decent. So it was all fine. Taxi was okay. I think we're not going to do this at the show again, so it's not going to. But I think in the future on taxis where you turn toward me and and I'm on your wing, I need to figure out how to do that. Because if it's a 90-degree taxi, there's almost no way without becoming almost to a stop that I can stay in position. And then I have to chuck a bunch of power in, and I almost never stay in position after that. On top of that, in this one, there's like those like taxi landing signs and things, which I could kind of see out of the corner of my eye. And so then I had to pay attention to where those were, so I wasn't. And so I just don't think that's probably the best way for me to do. If I know you're going to turn 90 degrees into me when I'm on the wing, I think I should probably just go well clear and follow you in the turn, or like figure out some other way to get kicked out to wing. Because on the inside of a turn, taxiing like that, when I'm trying to watch you is like very difficult and not super safe. So I would like to problem solve something for that. But other than that, no other notes for the show, and I'll fix my safeties, and I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's watch it. Remember back when it was questionable whether or not a replay would work?
Oh yeah, God.
Oh, it's come so far since then.
Uh-huh.
Caius and Leslie, thanks for visiting and saying hi, Leslie. Proud of your sister in the Navy. That's awesome.
Dude,
I'm
so
sure it's
cool.
not awesome for them. I'm
I
sure
mean, it might
it's.
be.
I hope it's awesome for them. I just have heard a lot of complaints before about serving in the armed services, but
Oh yeah, military service is not easy. That's true.
family for the sacrifice of giving your. All right, I'm just gonna double check the audio.
Doopity doop boop boop. That was almost on time.
We're gonna speed through most of this because our debrief took a bit.
Yep.
And most of this is boring.
Oh yeah, gee. Sometimes we finish those by now, like watching the whole thing. So.
You know, our debrief took about twice as. You're right, Tech. Alright, let's. Wow!
Oh yeah, well, speed.
So.
Yeah, call the turn too early.
Close.
Okay.
Adjusting for the size of the runway
Mm.
when you're coming in for that, like at Nellis.
Oh, because it's so big.
It's
Yeah.
so wide that you have to be further back. Oh, here we go. See how we did today. Nope.
Caught the drive though.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't caught that before.
Let's go find us a thing to know.
Yep, right over that house. Remember from last time.
We over that house?
Not right over the house,
Yeah,
but
there
like
we
you
go.
fly toward the house for you.
Fast forward.
Yeah, I got some gnarly PIO right there. It's right after the whatever the checks.
Hmm. Yeah. We'll keep going.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I can't tell when I'm doing this, but oh, a little forward. Okay. You know, now that I think about it, I did feel a little bit of that. 3 left, but yeah.
Time for the NIF edge.
We won't be able to see it, but I noticed something watching back the last show
Mm-hmm.
from just like scrubbing through different parts of the in cockpit, and I had been clearing at a different angle of bank than or angle of pitch than you had, so I tried to conform it to what you've been doing. Ooh, very high. Well, I was right.
Nice job.
There's where I dropped. Ugh. Then it just gets bobbly after that.
I miss when it rolled.
Yeah.
Definitely the right altitude. Oh yeah.
Pretty good. A little low if you want an overlap. But, yeah.
Good altitude there.
Yeah.
I get it right
That looks
most of the
good.
time, but yeah.
It looks like line of rest. It's not, but it looks like it. It's cool. Oh, timing was bad. Bummer. But it's been so good the last 2 times.
Mert time.
Parallax is hard to figure. Why we do this? Oh yeah, look at all that. Nice. Yep. Knew I was gonna be ahead. Yep. If I can get that timing every time, I'll be happy as a clam. Which apparently are happy. Yeah. It's weird because I literally said power set. I didn't change it at all. Normally I assume it's a power change thing. That's true. No, I mean like the puff. I usually think the nice timing. Dude, you're getting really good at that. That looks so good. I remember it used to be so all over the. Can't
I've
blame you for it. It's a freaking hard thing to do, but like, yep, freaking awesome. Oh, I'll take that. The altitude is just a hair high. Half a jet, but not bad.
I was like, we're gonna be low. There's nowhere he can go.
Gee, yeah.
We'll over rotate on the 2.5, but that's fine.
Yeah, I had some over rotations on some of my clears. It was always on the rollout after the clear itself, and then I just like stopped paying attention after that. Altitude was good though. That is something I need to remember for this as well. I start this pole 200 to 400 feet higher than you, just because of the parallax. Nice. Yeah. Skidded it right over the top. Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Perfect.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was quick.
Not
And then this
unsafe.
clear is gross.
Bid on it.
Nice.
You just have to look like you mean it.
Which I try to sell it.
Coming in for the 4-point.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little high.
Noted. Degree. Oh, I'm at 10 degree. I'm at like a heading of 10.
Mhm.
I usually cheat a little bit outbound to make this turn better.
Mhm. Yeah, I usually cheat 5 to 10 outbound to make sure I have the space for the turn. On the deck.
I got stepped on the 60 call, which is fine. But I actually do. So I said it again, but I actually do the pull over the top.
Mm. Right, right.
Oh, mouse. There we go.
There I am. In the bozo sphere, relatively speaking. Mhm. Nice timing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Still, your timing was great. We hit the right angle.
Yeah.
That's,
That was our best.
yep. It's getting better and better, dude.
There, just like you are with the Delta roll, but man, it's hard.
Not this time. Actually, you know, I didn't nail a delta roll in any of these. The show site. It's not the site. This is my worst high alpha in a hot minute.
There's the set.
Well, just sloppy. It's not like I did a bad thing.
I wasn't expecting to climb, and I was like, oh. Added some more power in. Because trying to drop power, if you drop, is nearly impossible.
Right, which is why I didn't do that to try and settle it back to 0. It's just like, I'm going to, you know, if it bleeds on its own, I'll let it do that. But I'm not going to, like, pull power to try and neutralize the BSI. Still, made it look good. Part of the reason I pick up speed is because I'm pointed pretty far nose down at that point. But man, look at this overshoot here. I don't know if it'll look weird or not. Yeah, it'll look weird. Okay, there it is.
So it took us a while to get in, so.
And then watch me climb right now. Woo! Ugh. Right on the hit because of it. Oh, good, I got that rollout timing though. It's hard to do.
I know. You're just so slow. I was really, really worried, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I did not notice. So I got a little behind on this because I had to, yeah, bank angle. Yep, yep, because I wasn't matching the roll right. Just scoot right under it. Yep, just not a push. Yeah, just a little back.
This one looks weird because of how far crowd right we are right now.
Huh. Yeah. Well, there's no way I'm going to anticipate that without hitting you. So I think it's just going to be late. Because I'm rolling wings level and pulling, and there's a strong possibility that the net code will just be like, you guys collided.
Yeah. There's that climb. I've been watching some of the other squadrons, and their diamond guys are fine going about a letter low. So I've been giving myself that wiggle room if I start to get off.
Uh-huh. Oh, right there. Spark off.
Alright, let's scooch.
I do like having the center point boat.
Me too.
It's kind of nice.
Nailed it.
Very nice. Yeah, that turn just needed to be sharper. That's my bad.
There's my overshoot. And back in.
And watch me screw this up. Too low and pointed the wrong way. But I killed the diamond, or the delta.
Yep.
So we're 4, 5, and 6 are stacked, but oh well. Yep. Hard to tell. Looks alright once it gets wider.
Ooh!
Yeah, it was crazy. I've never seen that site picture in my life, so it's like, I don't even know how to fix this.
The diamond flat pass.
A little high.
Are we gonna... I mean, we'd love to, but...
It's a matter of scheduling and
Skill...
commitment and so many other factors, yeah.
Honestly, at this stage in both of our lives, it's very unrealistic.
Yep. We basically need a diamond that's been practicing as much as we have, that's like ready to go. And most of those groups already have solos. So if somebody needs plug and play solos, we're your dudes, but they have recruiting processes and plenty of really good pilots. So yeah, we would love to. It would be great, but yeah, right now we fly when we can because we can coordinate 2 schedules, and trying to coordinate 6 is a real challenge. Not opposed to it, but it's just trying to be realistic. Yeah. Didn't catch that roll out very well. Bummer.
Good timing on that.
Thanks. I was planning to go clear behind you, but then you said, "Give me 2 on the right wing." I was like, ah. Completely screwed that up. Probably. It's really hard. I don't know if you've done a lot of taxing like that, but those 90-degree turns into you are very difficult to do well. You have to apply brakes at the right rate to stay with the lead. Because even pulling the power out won't do it. So you turned in at a much slower rate than I was expecting, so I ended up being very wide.
I was trying to get the distance right. Alright.
Stuff.
That's that. What would you like to do?
Do you want to help me test a couple of these missions for the project?
Sure. I'd like to stop streaming if we're gonna do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. Folks, thanks for joining us. BrotherLeb has a video project that he wants to do in DCS that may or may not ever come out sometime on a YouTube near you. So we're gonna go work on some of that stuff, and hopefully we'll be able to show it to you at some point. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later.